Josef Newgarden winds up 15th today, but there's a lot of story to tell from this race. You talked about how the rear tires were wearing off. You said there was a problem with the right rear. Was it the contact on the start of the race that caused all that, Josef? Here's the replay.
I mean, it sure felt like it. You know, it's hard to say because, you know, right after this hit, it felt like I had a right rear going down. So I radioed in. I said, hey, check right rear pressure. And it looked fine. There was nothing wrong with the pressure. But something else felt very, very odd. And then, you know, the story of the race was when there was new tires on the car, it was drivable. Like, you know, it felt off. It was definitely different, rights to lefts, like asymmetrically off. But it was drivable with new tires, and that was masking it. It's just the problem was the left rear was getting destroyed, which is not the tire that was hit, but whatever was going on over here was having some effect over there. And we couldn't hang on at all. It was bad, you know. I just wish, man, if we had the car like we had in warm-up, we'd have been just fine. But this was evil. Like, it was just an evil handling car. And, you know, we were literally just holding on the whole race. You know, every second half of a stint was pretty much a disaster. So what a shame. I mean, we had the winning strategy. It was a great day for Team Penske, obviously, so I'm super happy for the team. But, you know, we were in position, and another one just gets away. This one got away pretty badly, so pretty demoralizing for the whole group.
You get to turn the calendar to the month of May. How do you process how this season has started for this two team? I mean, St. Pete, the engine, you had to save fuel. You at Long Beach, you didn't have the win at Texas, but the results have been so frustrating.
Yeah, just pretty unlucky. You know, I hate saying luck, but it's a big part of it. You know, luck, timing, they kind of go hand in hand. Certainly not been on our side, so you know, I think if we're getting that out of the way and we're going to have great timing, great luck for the rest of the year, then I'm all good with it. But it'd just be a shame if that trend continues. So, you know, we'll just turn the page and go to the month of May. We got an incredible group here. It's not anything to do with them, just unfortunate timing.
Speaking of that, the GP is first, but on the oval, it looked like your car was pretty terrific. So what's the confidence level going into the month of May?
Yeah, sky high. You know, I felt really good that day in practice. Man, I felt so good this morning. You know, I was ready for today. I was ready for what we were doing. So that's what makes it so demoralizing. We literally had the car 3 hours ago, and, you know, for something like this to happen and to go, you know, so disastrously it's just odd. I mean, you can't even get mad about it because it's a strange situation. So my confidence level is still sky high with this group.
We appreciate your time, Josef. It winds up being 15th wrong, and I'm breaking news to him because he gets a trophy for biggest mover of the race. Plus 15. How about that? You said, wait, I finished 11th. I get a trophy for that? That's a cool accomplishment.
Do I get a trophy for the 10th loser, or is this what is the reason?
Biggest mover. You gained 15 spots today.
Oh, how good. I didn't realize you get a trophy for this, but hey, thanks.
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment. How physically demanding was this racetrack? You told me a moment ago, I'm not used to having a water bottle in the car, so I didn't use it the entire day.
I keep forgetting that I have a drinks bottle in the car. I haven't had that before in my career, so unless someone actually reminds me to use it, I don't use it. But I mean, I felt physically quite good, so yeah, nice.
You came in here with a lot of confidence, saying this is a lot like Europe. Did it play out the way you thought you would with this race?
Today was great. I mean, I think we had a really good car package in general. Like, we could move through, we could overtake. Not many people could, I don't think, just due to the layout of the circuit, you know, very fast and flowing. But unfortunately yesterday we had a penalty in quali, so we couldn't start where we should have. But I mean, I'm happy because we obviously were the biggest mover according to this trophy, so overall it was a good day.
A lot of people will say Barber and the Indy GP, a lot of European similarities. Do you kind of feel the same way when you look at the Indy road course, which is the next race?
It is the next race. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's what all my F2 buddies have told me, that it is, you know, very smooth, and you know, the track feels really similar to a couple of the European circuits. So I'm looking forward to that one, and I think Road America as well is going to be something that I'm somewhat used to.
Rookie of the Year leader. He continues to impress. Dave, nice performance from Marcus Armstrong.
Bring back in the championship leader. That's been the case more than anybody else over the last couple of years. Maybe more available, or is this, with circumstances, about the best that you could do coming home in 10th from where you started?
I think we had a bit more in it. I think, you know, we went for the two-stopper, and there was a lot of fuel save required to do that. So, you know, thankfully the Honda fuel mileage was really good, but that yellow, the caution that came, was not really good for our strategy and for us. So That hurt our race a bit. I think without that yellow, we should have been able to get a few more spots. The car was fast, like in the end there, when I could go a bit harder. We catch that group from 5 to 9 or whatever, and overtook a few cars as well. So I think the Husky Chocolate car was good, but tough race with so much fuel save. It's hard to drive then and hard to move up.
Lee Diffie and I were talking about this statistic over the last couple of years. You have the best average finish on road courses, and I told you that, and you were a little bit surprised as well. But days like today are one of the reasons. I don't think you finished worse than 12th or 13th over that. Is that what it takes to win a championship?
Yeah, I think, I'm learning from the best in my teammate, Scott Dixon, and he's, the king of consistency, and, I'm trying to do something similar. Obviously, last year, we were consistent last year as well, but we missed a little bit of peaks. We need a bit more peaks than we had last year to win that championship, and today it would have been nice with a top 6. I think that was the goal. 10th it's not a disaster. It's still decent and a top 10 finish. And we're still leading the championship, so that's good going into the month of May, defending champion and being the championship leader. So that feels good, but need a little bit more next time.
That sums it up. Marcus Ericsson is still the guy everybody's chasing, Marty. Felix Rosenqvist. So you might look at the box score and say, all right, you start 8th, finish 9th, kind of a pedestrian day, but you had to come all the way from the back after some early contact.
Yeah, on lap 1, I touched with Josef. I was just braking too late into turn 2, so that was on me. I mean, it's tight, it's small margins, but I hope I didn't damage him or anything. I don't know. He seemed to fall off a bit in the end of the race, but I don't know if that's why. But yeah, that wasn't intentional. And obviously, I screwed us in the beginning. Came out in last, but we had a really fun, first 2 stints after that, passing a lot of cars, a lot of clear air. So yeah, the McLaren NTT data was just on rails from that point. That we were really back in the game after stint 2, and yeah, it was fun. I think the last caution was kind of screwed us a little bit. It could have been a top 5 without that maybe, because the 2 stoppers really struggled. But yeah, really quick car today. It felt really good out there. So yeah, what could have been maybe, but yeah, I'm happy with the recovery.
I think you were planning on maybe some fuel saving and a 2-stopper, so that's the other side of that. At least you get to have fun and drive a fast race car as fast as it will go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if what didn't happen on lap 1 happened, then we probably would have been on a 2-stopper, and it wasn't really the strategy. So, it's so, you have to be so flexible in IndyCar, and we made the most out of, what happened, and that's what you have to do to keep it up in the standings. So really big thanks to everyone on the stand for making it happen.
We go to Indianapolis next. First, the road course, where you have been strong, and then the oval, where you finished 4th in the Indy 500, and the team's drivers were 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. What's that process like as the Indy 500 is coming up, but there's still another important championship race coming up in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm mainly focused on the GP. Obviously it's going to be a month of May and all that, but eyes are just on Indy GP. It's a track where, as you say, we've been really strong. We had, I had 2 poles there in the past, but never really been able to execute the race, and I think that's still a question mark for us to make the race work. But yeah, looking forward to get back there. That's it's always fun to start the month of May and getting into it, and obviously the big one is going to be huge this year with some cool liveries on the McLaren cars, and I think especially my one looks really cool. So yeah, exciting times.
And again, we appreciate all of the cars looking different from the fan and the broadcaster standpoint. Good recovery today. Felix Rosenqvist.
Was indeed good performance too from Alexander Rossi on the 3-stop strategy. Do you feel like, okay, I liked it, but it just didn't work out for us?
No, I think it worked out all right. Very clearly the Team Penske knew that the used alternates were a good option, and I don't think we caught on to that early enough. We obviously ended on them, but it was a little bit too late, because that restart there, we were on the primes and they were on the alternates. But nonetheless, I think it's another good performance from us. Like we're still a new group, and we're still learning, how to communicate with each other and get the most out of each other. And when you're fighting ultimately for a top 5 or whatever, and you're disappointed. I guess that's a good thing. But I feel like the pace has come on really strong in the past couple of events, and yeah, just obviously disappointed to only come away with an 8th.
I thought I heard that on your cool-down lap. It was sort of the we're getting there type of mentality, right, week to week?
No, 100%. Day to day, we get stronger as a group, and we have glimpses of, fighting to be at the top and then, just fall a little short on execution. But I think that'll come with time, and I love these guys behind me and the group that I have around me, and I feel like we have a huge amount of, runway and progress that's just going to keep coming. So you just got to keep your head down and keep working at it. But, like I said, the 7-hour McLaren Chevy guys have done a great job, and we'll take the positives from here and look forward to taking another step in Indy.
And that's into the month of May, which is very important, with two very different races. So your outlook, I would assume, is fairly positive going that way?
Obviously, we had a good result at the Indy GP last time around, and, this car was on pole the last time they were there, so I think we have a really good baseline. So it's important just to hit the ground running, minimize the mistakes, and yes, the Indy GP is important, but obviously we're all very excited to get to the Speedway and get the month of May started. Step by step, Kevin, when you're with a new team, Alexander Rossi will get there.
Let's talk to his teammate Felix. Rossi knows something about winning. There's that's won more races than him. Unfortunately, today was not number 54, Scott. What were you looking for? What do you look back when you start to think about how we maybe could have made a little bit better? What turned out to be a decent day?
Yeah, it was pretty average, to be honest. Frustrating. I think we were kind of at the back of the 2 stoppers, so then we were defending the whole time against the 3 stoppers. So the whole first stint was just getting blasted by McLaughlin that was trying to overtake. So then you're on the OT a lot. Which makes it difficult to get the the fuel, and then the Lundgaard crossover when he went to red. So it was just one of those days where we were constantly fighting for not really much, and unfortunately ended up losing 2 spots there. So tough day. I think the car had good pace all weekend, which is definitely a good thing to take away from it, but obviously not where the PNC Bank number 9 wants to finish.
These are always tight quarters racing, and it looked like how much did you mix it up today? I saw a little bit of side-by-side, especially at the end of one of the pit exchanges with somebody you had a little coming together with a couple of weeks ago in Pato Award.
Yeah, I don't think I got too close to Pato. I had one with Josef and then Lundgaard, and then I think even with Felix and maybe Rossi. So there was a bit of action there, but nothing too crazy. And I think everybody kind of, we touched a couple of times, but nothing, out of character. So that part was fun, but the rest of it, when you're stuck on the 2 and trying to get big fuel numbers, it's not the most exciting day.
All right, thanks, Scott. We'll see you in Indy a couple of weeks. Mark.
Positive day for Christian Lundgaard, although he finishes where he starts. I know it wasn't that simple, finishing 6th. How would you describe the day?
It was a hell of a long race, man. No, I think we had a very good start. And then it went a little downhill after that. But the 45 Hy-Vee Honda crew did an amazing job today. I think all the stops were probably the best we've had all season, so that's good. We got to take the positives from this weekend. We started 6th, we finished 6th.
And I don't think you could say as a company we've got the leaders in sight until this weekend. It's very positive for the company.
No, absolutely. We took a big step forward. Even just looking at my overtake on Scott, these were the kind of moves that we had to get done today, and I knew I had to be aggressive. My dad told me, think about driving, think about what you enjoyed growing up, and that was race hard. So I did that today.
And going into then a place where you have also been successful, best finish of your career came into the GGP. Positivity going into that, I assume.
Absolutely. I'm excited to race at my second home. I live in Indy, so it's for me. I'm excited to get to race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Is always special. So we'll see if we can get another podium there.
All right, that would be good.
Stash.
Well, and that's the thing. The stash stays. Folks, if you don't know, it goes if he wins. Kevin, I know you know that.
We all know that. And Chris very much in the championship mix, 3rd, just 9 points out. So there were 2 very different strategies in play. You start 2nd, you come home 5th. You try the fuel save in the 2-stopper. Hindsight, was that the right call, or does it all depend on the luck of the yellows and the timing?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the best call, but it's what we thought at that time with the pace that we had. So happy with another top 5. Could have been a little bit better, obviously, starting on the front row. But, there was better teams and better strategies. So happy with the result. It was tough to save so much fuel and the tires. But anyway, we had some good battles with Pato at the end.
And there he is.
Yeah. Igualmente. ¿Te has quedado sin fuel?
Yeah, a lot of fuel saved there for the end. So I would say everyone else ahead of the race agreed. Front row, control things. Honda has good fuel mileage. Probably best to do the two-stopper. What's the frustration like when you've got a good car and you just can't push as hard as you want to because you have to save a little bit of fuel?
Yeah, honestly, there was like lap 5 or so. I saw the pace was really slow, and I tried to push Romain a little bit, but really couldn't. I started degrading my tires, so I just had to sit there and just wait for him. So, yeah, it's not what we want as drivers, but honestly, it's still fun. You still can make some differences, go one lap longer, which we did, but didn't play out today.
All right, Alex Palou with a good points-paying result today. Was in massive fuel save to the point that you had to wait a little while to get back. That's not super comfortable sitting in the car, I understand, after the end of a long race.
Yeah, man, I was lifting so much. We had to get a massive number, and I really don't know how we kept up the pace like that. Yeah, great car. Very happy with how we did this weekend. Obviously, you know, when you look back now of how everything played out, I think we were on the wrong strategy. But no one made a mistake. That's just, you know, a roll of dice that you have to take, you know, in the beginning of the race. And yeah, Scotty was on the good end of it. Power was on the good end of it, and a couple of the other guys. But nevertheless, it was a really strong result for us, and you know, happy with the 4th. But month of May's coming up, busiest month out of the year. The big cookie's also coming up, so yeah, pumped for that.
Beginning of the race, we expected you would be aggressive. You were. Got second for a moment. Looked like you might challenge for the lead. Had you been able to get up front, might that have changed the strategy?
It might have changed the strategy a little bit. I mean, Scott was behind us, and he made it work, right? So I think it was all about, you know, we didn't make the call to come in for the 3-stopper, and that's just, it's not like we made. When you look at it back now, yeah, okay, we might have done it a little bit differently if you see exactly how the yellow played out and all that stuff. But I mean, that was a chance in, you know, 1 in 100. They really got lucky with that one, all the 3-stoppers. So it is what it is, and we made the best of what we had, and I think we really maximized it. I mean, we were against, you know, arguably four Hondas that were extremely strong, and you know, definitely had us on the edge of our seat to, you know, keep them behind us throughout the race.
You feel like you're back in a rhythm now. These are the types of days that can lead to a championship?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Long Beach was not the ideal, but you know, this is what we want. This is what we know that we can do, and you know, we'll go into IndyGP with the same approach, just like we will the rest of the season, and we want to win races. We have yet to win our first race of 2023. We've been there every single race, but you know, obviously not all of them have worked out the same. So this is really solid. We've had, you know, from 4 races, we've had 3 top 5s. That's pretty good.
Good result today. Like, this is a bit like a win, going from 12th to 3rd, considering where you started and some concerns coming into the race.
Yeah, it was an extremely good day. I mean, when I saw everyone saving so much fuel there, we talked about doing 3-stop, and I said I felt like it was better to do that, and the guys made the call, but it was just super fast when we got clear air. That was the key to getting up to 3rd. Had a really fast car. It's a real pity we didn't start further up, but you know, Chevy did a great job with the engine, and obviously got to thank Verizon for all the support, because we're on another championship run, man. We're still just chipping away here. We're gonna get a win here soon. We've just got to keep at it, improving qualifying, and yeah, just having fun, enjoying it a lot.
By the way, you'll have a fresh engine coming from Chevy when you get to the Indianapolis road course, mileaged out for a couple of weeks from now. All right, last stint, you were gaining on Grosjean to the point where McLaughlin was even told, hey, Grosjean's behind you, but Will Power might be coming. What did you need? What could have possibly allowed you to get up to 2nd and maybe even challenge McLaughlin?
It was the tires had gone too much. Like, I could do a faster lap time, but as soon as I got his dirty air, I just couldn't get close enough. I tried everything I could and even made a couple of big mistakes trying that. Just couldn't get to him. I did everything. I tried to save the push to pass till I got to him. There's just nothing. You just get to that air pocket and you just can't. The tires were gone too much, but you know, it wasn't worth throwing a 3rd place away trying something stupid. So I just took the points.
This place is always pretty physical. I'm just curious how you're feeling after this race on, luckily, not a super hot day.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it's always tough the first 15 laps or 10 laps. Then your muscles settle in and you're good to go. But yeah, I was able to push the whole way and still fit for an old bloke.
Tomorrow starts the month of May. We'll see you in Indy.
Consistency for Romain Grosjean has been incredible this season. Once again today, consistency, not the big prize. How do you sum it up?
It hurts. I'm going to be honest. The three-stop never wins in Barber, but today the pit stayed open. That gave McLaughlin power the edge on that three-stop. I mean, look at the two-stop behind us, 20 seconds behind him. We had an incredible car, drove really well, gave it 100%, but we just got unlucky with that yellow. So, like I came and said, don't get your head down. That was one of the best drives you ever seen. So, I mean, what do you want to say? So it's just good. I give it all, but it was good with Scott, and congrats to him. He deserved the win.
And Michael should know he's a big picture guy. And are you becoming a big picture guy? I know that win wants to be there, but the picture's been painted so large this year.
We got good points today, and our day will come. Today was like St. Peter thing was for us, but we got unlucky with the yellow. Anyway, on to the next one.
I want to ask you, you seemed a bit surprised when they told you were out of push to pass. Was there something that was not communicated to you or missing?
I'm wondering if you didn't have a glitch on the dash, because I believe I had 99 seconds left, but then the next thing I looked, it was 0. So I was just going to look, maybe Smith, I used it more than I thought I was, making the most of it for Long Beach.
And with that in mind, describe those final laps holding off Will, who you knew was coming.
Yeah, Will was coming. They were better on fuel, but I knew his ride would be at the end of the life, so I wasn't too worried about it. I was really more worried about the fuel number and the tires getting cold and making a mistake.
Strong day today for Romain Grosjean. Kevin?
Offense all day long in that three-stop strategy versus saving fuel.
I call it a happy driver strategy. I was a lot happier doing that, but I'm so thankful. First weekend for Good Ranchers on the car. What an amazing thing for them to be with us this weekend. My team advanced me to victory lane there. We had great fuel. Went past Grosjean there on a little bit of strategy, advanced past him, and I feel really good about it. So really happy to advance to victory lane and be really pumped about it.
I want to ask you about the battle with Grosjean. Was St. Pete in the back of your mind thinking, man, I got to give him a lot of room. I don't want to run into him again.
Nah, we're racers. You just get on with it. As good as your last race, you get on with it. We're men. We talked over man to man, and as far as I'm concerned, and he's concerned, we race hard and fair and press on, and there's no hard feelings between the two of us. But I'm glad to get a win here for 33s. It's been coming. We've been close. We just didn't quite get it the last few rounds, but we got it now.
Boy, these numbers may shock you, but +6 in the championship standings. Now 4th, just 11 out of the championship, and the month of May starts tomorrow. How important is that?
Yeah, I mean, May is going to be an awesome time for us. I can't wait. Best race in the world's coming up here soon, and to start end April like this and start May hopefully on a good note is a really proud achievement. But just super proud of my team, the Chevy for the fuel mileage. We had a hell of a strategy there today, and super pumped. Hey, mum and dad at home, Carly at home as well, and see you guys soon.
I got to tell you that your Good Ranchers, first race with them, they're going bananas here in Victory Lane. You got a lot of Cowboys that are happy.
Well, I had a lot of Cowboys last night having a few drinks. I know that for sure. Hopefully they've got enough juice to have another party tonight.
Scott McLaughlin picks a very good time to get his first top 5 of the year.